Hey guys, before we hop into your video, I wanted to tell you guys about my new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of it, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a licensed therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat, and you also have the opportunity to text them in between sessions. As most of you guys know, I am also a licensed professional as well as a mental health advocate, and sometimes in these readings, very in depth topics come up that are very intricately related to mental health, and it's for that reason that I offer this resource to you guys. And if you know anyone that can benefit from them, or if you yourself can benefit from them, I suggest you take advantage of them. The information to sign up will be in the description box below, but let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Aquarius, and happy birthday. Welcome to your February general energy reading. I'm Princess India if you're new. If you're family, welcome back, my friend. So here's the deal, Aquarius. Tuning into you guys' energy legit made me hella stir crazy, like ridiculously. And the best way I can describe it is it's a very unnerving energy. It was making me feel extremely nervous and like I don't know what to do and just stir crazy, right? So I literally was trying to figure out which deck to use for you guys. And I was led to this one, and this is my Sacred Geometry deck. Those of you who are familiar with me, you guys know my obsession with sacred geometry and things of the sort. So I'm going to pick a card from here to start you guys out. I have a bunch of stuff for y'all. That's why, I don't know, it's a little strange to pick up the energy that I picked up, because it's really good stuff. Because the other night I had a dream, and Spirit said, and I felt the need to share that with you guys as well. With this intention, I do hereby create. And I was telling it to my group on Patreon yesterday in our little weekly live, because another one of my patrons got a message similar to that in one of their dreams. And the thing that I saw was an energy that was coming out of a person into a path, and then it went into the infinity symbol and then came back into the person. So in so many words, okay, well, yes, that does kind of make sense. If we think about with our intentions, like our intentions is seeds, which goes into the other thing that I wanted to share with y'all, and I mentioned it last month, but if we look at our intentions as seeds that we're planting, right? And of course, all seeds ultimately manifest into trees, plants, flowers, what have you, babies, whatever. So, with this intention, do I hereby create? That means that whatever it is that you intend, whether, purposefully or not, is that which you will create. Now, if I put this in accordance with the energy that I was feeling prior to turning this camera on, of feeling stir crazy and nervous and unsure and insecure and like, just worry and should I go this way or that way or, feeling all of that, that still can manifest as an intention, right? Not saying that you're doing it to yourself. It's so complex of having to tread so lightly with things like this. But that's neither here nor there. It's just the fact of like, your emotions are things. We think of like energy and motion, like emotions being things, and that whatever we're feeling is more or less our intention, whether we intend that to be so or not. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and this is a really silly example, but if you think about when you were in school and you know how they used to do like the little volcanoes and you do baking soda and like vinegar, it's like, one doesn't necessarily intend, to ruin grandma's rug, right? But baking soda and vinegar create a chemical reaction to where it starts to bubble up. So if that happens by default, it happens by default. You know what I mean? Even though that wasn't your intention. So this feels to me like um, a self-sabotatory kind of energy, but I feel that it's very mental based, so much so that you guys aren't necessarily realizing. And then I think for some of you, like with this being you guys' birthday season, it could easily be like a fear of turning 30, you know, or whatever age you are, 60 or, 50, like whatever, or with some people it can be, I know, I think they spoke, well, yeah, I think this, well, yeah, this is definitely when I was in graduate school. But it was this thing with males, like if your father died when you were younger and your dad was fairly young, and when you hit the age that your father passed away at, like that's triggering for some men. It may be for women too, but it's just sticking out to me with dudes. But it could be, something like that, or like a fear of turning a certain age, or it could be something around, birthdays being triggering, or it reminding you of certain things that you wanted to have figured out by a certain time and they're not. Whatever the case may be, the feelings that I'm picking up on, they're low vibrational nonetheless. So regardless of what the intricacies and specifics are of the situation, it's just the fact that they're low vibrational energies. And with, we're talking about the whole energy and motion thing here. It's important to know that you guys can inadvertently be manifesting less than stellar situations or limiting yourself and holding yourself back from opportunities because of feelings or what you're thinking about things. They're like self-imposed limitations in so many words. And I'm so sorry for huffing and puffing, y'all, but it's like, the energy that I'm feeling, it's vexing. You know what I mean? And it's not you guys at all. And it's no judgment or anything. It's just, I'm a Taurus sun and moon and a Gemini rising. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm pretty chill. The ruminating thought thing, like that's hella annoying for me, like within myself. But it's just like the energy, it's hella, like it's vexing and like exacerbating. And it's like, I'm sorry you guys are going through this, but it's making me feel like, ugh, you know what I mean? It's like almost like annoyed. But the thing that's crazy is like me picking up on this intuitively, right? And it's like the energy signature that's making me feel like, oh my God, but it's like, my compassion for you guys is the fact that I feel like I'm talking about a whole process that's happening devoid of your awareness. So you guys can very well feel like annoyed and aggravated and like, and not know where it's coming from. But the whole thing, I feel I'm here to tell you guys, it's like it's coming from like thought reels that you guys may not be aware that you're even having. It's like, you're sitting alone in the room, you were fine 2 seconds ago, and the next thing you know, you're like aggravated as shit, and you don't know why that is. You know what I mean? But anywho, we have consciousness. It says the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. So let's talk. Oh, I'm holding this up because these are actually like sacred geometry codes. So you can like screenshot this, and like stare at it, and it activates stuff in your subconscious. But anywho, so when we talk about like consciousness is something that's neutral, right? Like consciousness is like a river and it's just flowing, like it's doing its thing. But you can utilize your consciousness for good or for evil, or good or bad, whichever verbiage, feels more appropriate to you. But meaning like consciousness is a level of awareness, what you're aware of. It's like all of us as human beings, we're conscious. You know what I mean? Like, I am me, I am here, this is a computer, these are cards, like I'm conscious, I'm awake, you know what I mean? But not in like the woke sense, but it's like in a level of just basic level human awareness, being a conscious, aware being, you know what I mean? So this being like this stream of consciousness that we're all running on, that can be utilized for good or for evil. It can be used to help, or it can be used to hurt you. You know what I mean? And I feel that I'm more or less posing this as a question, a reflection question, really, of you thinking about what majority of your consciousness is utilized for. It's like with your ability to think, with your ability to be aware, with your ability to, do and observe and things of the sort. It's like, what are you utilizing your consciousness to do? And then your past influence energy, we have the protection card, and it says, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Okay, well, this is really starting to make a whole lot of sense. So here's the thing, Aquarius. What this is feeling like for me, it's looking like in the month of February, you guys' past is more or less making itself very known in your present. So there's some experience that you guys have gone through in the past, and it doesn't matter if it's childhood, it doesn't matter if it was last week, it doesn't matter if it was last month. It's just the simple fact that whatever this experience is, it's siphoning your energy now. So there may be a level of you guys feeling lethargic or feeling tired or just completely, because, dude, like, it's overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I guess it's like for me specifically, I can't say for everyone, or even how an Aquarius could handle this. I don't know. It's like, it's because I'm saying for me, it's overwhelming for me because it's my makeup as a person. It's like the emotions that I'm picking up on, dude, it's like I make sure that I take care of shit so I don't ever get to the point where I feel like that, because it's like, and that's where I say, I don't know if that's everyone, but it's just me as a person. It's like, I couldn't function, nor could I be productive if I felt every day what I feel right now. I just couldn't. And that's just me as a person. Like, I literally would shut down because I wouldn't be able to think. I wouldn't be able to plan. I wouldn't be able to look at anything objective because it feels hella fear-based. And the energy feels hella like consuming. But at the same time, it's like intuitively, I know that this isn't like real, if that makes sense. Meaning it's not real, meaning this isn't happening now. This card backs up what it is that I'm sensing in the fact that this is either rehearsing past disappointments or fears that are rooted in past situations, or if this is something that somebody projected onto you, like say if you had a parent that was like very overbearing and, instilled fear in you, to where you have an opportunity now to kind of step out of your comfort zone and you're terrified to do it because it's like, oh no, shouldn't do stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't feel like this is something that's actually happening. It feels like a fear that this could potentially happen one day, somehow, somewhere out there in the future. And it's like, that occurring in your thought space is, and again, going back to what I heard in my dream, it's like, with this intention, do I hereby create? So this more or less inadvertently ends up becoming something where we're using a gift of something such as consciousness, and it inadvertently becomes your worst enemy because it's creating more limitations, more blocks, and more setbacks when this is something that could actually be working in your favor. But the intention of saying, like, with this intention, do I hereby create? It's not to say, like, oh, you're being blamed, like, oh, you're drawing in bad stuff, you're drawing in bad people, and it's like, oh, because you hate yourself that much. No, it's not that. It requires a higher level of understanding to really understand that concept, in the sense that we're consciously aware of things, we're energetically connected to things, but there's a lot of things that we do on autopilot. You know what I mean? So, and that's what self-sabotage is in so many words. It's like, we have an opportunity to step outside of our comfort zone, but it's like our fear button is triggered. We're feeling fear. Fear equals bad. So that means I backstep instead of taking a step forward, in so many words. But it feels like a person thinking all of these different scenarios that could possibly happen, And it's not seeing how you're inadvertently making, like creating a self-fulfilling prophecy to where you're creating those situations because you're spending so much of your creation energy on the negative or the low vibrational as opposed to what could potentially work in your favor, if that's making sense. The overall, oh, good Lord. Well, I mean, that's right on point. The theme for the month is the Nine of Swords. Dude, like Aquarius. Whew, Lord Jesus in heaven. That is exactly what it is I'm feeling. It's like Nine of Swords energy. Like, look at this dude's face. Like, I mean, aside from the fact that he has the mask on and stuff, but I mean, like, the dude looks freaking like, oh gosh, what could possibly be? You know? And it's like, I'm seeing this more or less as him looking towards the future. And it's thinking, worst case scenario, what could possibly go wrong? What if this? What if that? What if this? But the link between this present energy and your past is the fact that this is something that has transpired. And for each of you, it's going to be different. It doesn't matter how soon in your past, I don't think that's the right word, how recent in your past this is, or how far distant in your past this is. What we're talking about is an energetic cord that's tied to you in this situation or you and this person. So it's more or less in the present. And if you think about this as like energetic cords, literally, this could be like some, I don't know, we don't necessarily have to go all the way out there like traumatic. But I mean, this could be some disappointment or whatever that you experienced past tense, or even if it's like a breakup, like if you and a person broke up a year ago, and it's the fact that you're still energetically tied to that situation. It's not talking about like the person within themselves, but to the pain of that situation. You know what I mean? It's like you're siphoning all of that energy from the past into your present, and it's manifesting in your thought space, but it's not actually happening, right? So it's fear. So it doesn't matter what this is, whether it's a past relationship, past disappointment, past trauma, it doesn't matter what. It's just the simple fact that there's a need to see that there's a link between you and this situation, and you need to cut ties with it. Now, when I talk about cutting ties with it, it doesn't have to be some ritualistic spiritual ceremony where you're getting freaking tourmaline and chopping at invisible cords and stuff like that. You don't have to do all of that. It's just you simply looking back and confronting this situation, healing in reference to it, acknowledging how this is, or coming to a place of awareness of how this is influencing you. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If you guys ordered the woke book, or if you've gotten your woke book by now, this in essence is the very practical guide of what the woke book is in essence. You know what I mean? It's just simply reflecting and looking back. This situation I feel for Aquarius is a very specific situation, but it's not necessarily seeing the connection between the two. The whole The whole purpose of the woke book is to help everybody see the connections between these past experiences and present fears, because you're trying to prevent yourself from experiencing something you did in the past, in the present. But it's like that was the past. So what's happening now is not then, but it's like your mind doesn't really know that. Your cell memory doesn't really know that. So it's a need for you to utilize your consciousness and your awareness in the present moment to recognize that and like lay the ground for that. You know what I mean? Because all in all, this really feels like a self-imposed glass ceiling to me. The other card I have clarifying that is the Fool in the reverse. So, oh man, all right. With the Fool in the reverse, what this could be causing you guys to do presently is, and this can manifest like 3 different ways. Like one, because literally, when you're feeling anxiousness like this, you're either going to like leap and not look before you leap. Like say if there's so many things going on and I don't know if should I do this or should I do that? If I ask somebody's opinion, it's like, and I just heard Libra. I don't know if that's because we're just going to poke fun at Libra's indecisiveness right now, or if that's relevant to any of you. But anyway, it's kind of like if you have all of these different things or different ways you can go. And it's like sometimes there's some people who are like, I don't know. You ask someone's opinion, they're like, do this. And then another person's like, do that. And you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Some people will leap before they look, like, F it, I'm just about to jump on something and do something. There's some people who completely shut down and don't do anything at all. You know what I mean? And then there's some people, and I feel that that kind of falls more into, like, the first group I said is more in a sense of like a recklessness. You know what I'm saying? To where you end up sabotaging things. Not necessarily saying that that's your intention. It's just the fact that you're confused, you're afraid, so I'm either going to act or I'm not going to act at all. You know what I mean? And then there's some people who just like completely disassociate and numb out. But the thing that I'm seeing that the block is here with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, it's the fact that either you're giving up too easily or you're giving up too quickly, because it almost feels like a challenge. It's like every time, because I'm picking up on past energy, every time there's a challenge that more or less requires whoever resonates with this to like kind of step up, it's like, I don't trust myself, right? So you're already confused, right? You're already unsure of what choice to make. You ask other people, you know, other people's opinions. Some of you guys may, others of you may just think about it, but it's like you'll ask other people's opinion, or, you know, you'll sit and think about all these different scenarios, and you end up kind of stunting yourself. So this can manifest as like a self-sabotage of, like I was saying, that recklessness of just jumping out and doing stuff or not doing anything at all. So with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, it's either you're giving up too easily, like the anxiety becomes too much, so you just say F it and quit, or, you know, you're jumping into it, you know what I mean? Or it's just numbing you out to where you just don't do anything, right? Now, the thing that I'm seeing is here with the possibilities card, with the Page of Wands being in you guys' possibility space. What this is saying to me is that you guys have the opportunity now to break this cycle, right? But the thing that's required is for you to be present, right? Because anxiety, the whole basis of anxiety is fears of the future, okay? Anxiety has nothing to do with the present, because what's happening is happening. But anxiety is very much future based. It's what if what happened in the past ends up happening in the next 5 minutes, in the next hour, in the next week, in the next month, in the next year? What if this girl is like all the other ones? What if this guy is like all of the other ones? What if this job is just like the rest of the jobs? You see what I'm saying? It's a correlation between future and past. And it has nothing to do with the present other than the triggering event, which is a new experience, the catalyst, the crossroads. You see what I'm saying? And there's a need to slow everything down to be present, to see which category do you fall in. Are you the person who, you know, takes a risk without thinking? Are you the person that more or less shuts down? Being consciously aware of that, seeing what ties that has, like, where's this fear really coming from? Digging a little deeper. You know what I mean? And using your conscious awareness in the present, your power of choice in the present, to choose what it is you're going to do differently moving forward. Because like I was saying a few seconds ago, I feel this is something that has been consistently happening. And I don't want to go as far as saying like your whole entire life, but I mean, I feel for a good while. You know what I mean? But it's giving you an opportunity now to break out of this, you know? And to be able to master your ability, and that you're trusting yourself to take action without regret. Because it's like, it really feels to me like a fear of making the wrong choice. But it feels, and I'm so sorry, Aquarius, like, it feels like being like out of control of yourself. And like I say, for me, it's so unnerving because, like, and this is, like I say, it's a personal pet peeve for me. I don't like feeling out of control of myself, you know? It's like, it's one thing to be out of control of, you know, external stimuli. I can't have control over that, but it's like, I can have control over me. But it's like this whole thought space thing. It's like, when you don't have control over your own mind, it's like it makes you feel completely out of control of everything. because your mind is a tool. Like, your consciousness utilizes your mind. Your mind has creation power. And it's like, if you feel subservient to your mental space, it is extremely overwhelming. So it's like, I would even go as far as to say that for this month, the whole theme is most importantly to identify specifically what this fear is, where it comes from, and to actually do the work to rectify this, if that makes sense. But in the extended, we're looking at the whole shadow aspect of this. So we're going to look at what your solution is to overcoming this. We're going to look at, in more specific ways, how your past is manifesting into the present, and your shadow aspects within yourself with where this anxiety is rooted in. And then, oh yeah, I got to pull that deck out. I got to pull, you guys, Hidden Enemies card. But you can ask a yes or no question. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards for the extended. 24 minutes. Good Lord. Okay, we have Aquarius, we have Taurus, we have Bay Lover Partner, we have Sun, and yes is the answer to your question. And we're going to throw the dice that have no name. Y'all reading what's supposed to be short. We have the number 9, we have Scorpio, and we have Venus. So I'm going to look on the little thing and get that real quick. It's your Hidden Enemy card. And I'm going to pull the rest of the cards for you guys extended. Whoa. Take those too. Oh, I'm tripping. I'm going to leave that there. I was supposed to take that from the bottom of the deck. All right. What else am I doing? Oh, yeah. All right. My apologies, Aquarius. I'm discombobulated. I'm always discombobulated with my first reading that I do. But I can say, since I got that out, I feel more at ease. And I just want to stress, y'all, I'm totally like, I don't want anyone to feel like bad or anything like that, because I'm not trying to patronize anyone. It's just, you know, I'm human. Energies affect me too. But it's like this type of energy, like that unrest, that's just a personal pet peeve of mine. Like, I can't stomach that as a regular person, you know? I can't. That's why it's like, you know, I pay bills on time, I do taxes in time and things of the sort, because I can't be dealing with no anxiety stuff keeping me up at night. Like, I cannot fool with that. But for Venus, it says learning to love, curated relationship with spirit, self, and others. Cultivate harmony and balance in your life. That is of utmost importance, because there's a huge, there's a level of imbalance here. And what was the other thing? There was something else with y'all. I'm so discombobulated in this energy, Aquarius. It was something else I wanted to tell you guys. It was something about... I don't know, something about ingenuity or innovation, or it was a word, something along those lines. But I don't know, it's almost like I think with whatever challenges or problems you guys have this month, it's more or less like taking a new approach. And it's not necessarily saying that you have to do something that's never been done per se, like meaning like pulling something out of the ethers. But I mean, this could be something as simple as like something that's never been done could be, and I'm just going to use my favorite example. It's like going to see your friendly local neighborhood therapist. Like, if you've never been to a therapist before, like, this month would be a good month to do that. It's like utilizing a quote unquote innovative approach to be a solution for whatever issue you guys are facing. And it doesn't matter if this means innovative literally, like you guys creating something new that has never been done before, or it's just utilizing an approach you guys have never utilized before as a solution to a problem. Like, and even if we stick with the taxes thing, like, instead of you doing your taxes yourself on the little program that people use, it's like actually going to a tax person, if that makes sense. I hope this makes sense, y'all. I really hope it does. We have the number 9. So you guys, major arcana for this month is the Hermit. And it says, in every moment, life offers an opportunity for personal growth and development. And I feel that's 110% true. I feel like you guys are being given an opportunity to grow in another area of your life. And it's really up to you guys whether or not you take it, you know? And then even looking at the Scorpio energy, it's like that's speaking of transformation. It's like using your birthday this year to take another approach to life that you've never taken before. You know what I mean? So that's probably the innovation, because when you think of something dying, it can't go back to its former state. So it's more or less a transfiguration, in a sense, into another form. And I feel that's what's being asked of you guys this month, is to use like practical, tangible things such as your consciousness, the present moment, your power to choose, to elect to do things differently than you've ever done them before in a very practical way. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't anything that's like pie in the sky type of thing, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Anywho, going into you guys' cards for the extended, the first, oh, good Lord. Oh, Lord. We have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the 3 of Swords in the reverse. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the World in the reverse. We have the Page of Pentacles, the 4 Swords in the reverse, your hidden enemy, or, okay, interesting. We have social justice worker, and this is like your hidden enemy, whether this is in, you know, mindset or like actually a physical person. And then we have your Black Mirror card, and it's colorless angel. So we're going to get into these in the extended, my friend. So if you're about that life, the link is below. If not, I still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later. Deuces.